IT organizations commonly utilize frameworks for IT service management, ITSM. However, companies utilizing only one of these frameworks are missing out on significant benefits. In fact, the majority of available ITSM best practice bodies are designed to coexist with other frameworks, offering complementary features and capabilities. These include COBIT 2019 and ITIL 4. ITIL is the most popular service management framework worldwide. COBIT is recognized globally for enterprise governance and IT management. Each framework is highly effective in providing customized governance and quality service management. However, when combined, COBIT and ITIL have the potential to increase the value significantly, not only for the customer but for the entire organization and its partners as well. Therefore, the question remains, what are the differences between COBIT and ITIL, and how should they be utilized in conjunction? So, in this video, let us look at the differences between these two ITSM concepts. Hello everyone. This is George from Invensis Learning. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to discover any of the modern technologies. Now, let us take a quick look at the agenda. Initially, we shall brush up on the two main terminologies, ITIL and COBIT. Then, we shall focus on the main topic, that is, the differences between ITIL and COBIT. Then, we shall see which ITSM methodology is better for you. So, let's not waste much of our time. We shall get into the topic now. Let us first have a look at Introduction to IT Service Management. IT service management refers to how technical teams design, plan, and implement daily IT procedures for their clients and businesses. As technology continues to play a central role in businesses, organizations must find creative ways to incorporate IT services into their daily operations. ITSM is all about developing a process-driven approach to IT services, as opposed to traditional tech-driven IT management approaches. As a result, it focuses on the customer's needs rather than traditional IT services. In other words, unlike the majority of IT management practices, which tend to focus on internal hardware, networks, and systems, ITSM utilizes IT services to bridge the gap between customer service and business objectives. Since its introduction in the 1980s, when it was primarily used for data center management, ITSM has undergone significant development. In the past, it merely provided a structured method for managing IT resources. Modern ITSM encompasses all-encompassing business and IT convergence best practices. There is a good thing that you have already implemented some ITSM processes in your organization. However, as your organization expands, you will need to implement more mature processes to maximize the return on your ITSM investments. Now, we shall have a brief talk on what is COBIT. COBIT is essentially a methodology that focuses on aligning business and IT objectives. It simply assigns responsibilities and goals to business and IT managers to streamline their processes. COBIT provides all the tools necessary to construct, monitor, and enhance its implementation while reducing costs and establishing and preserving privacy standards. Simply put, COBIT provides structure and oversight for general IT processes within an organization. COBIT includes numerous resources, such as frameworks, process descriptions, control objectives, management guidelines, and maturity models, that can facilitate the management and governance of an IT organization. The COBIT framework is entirely based on the guiding principles. Meeting stakeholder needs. Comprehensive protection of the enterprise. Organizations using a single integrated framework. Developing or initiating a holistic strategy differentiating governance from organization or management. Visit MindMagics, a global online training platform, COBIT Certification course if you would like to become a COBIT certified professional. This course will assist you in attaining excellence in this field. Now, we shall see. What is ITIL? ITIL is a framework for service management that provides enterprises with guidance on how to use IT for business development, transformation, and change. ITIL 4 continues to provide organizations with the guidance they need to address new service management challenges and how to use different technology in the era of DevOps, Agile, Cloud, and digital transformation. The key components of the ITIL 4 framework represent a significant evolution from previous versions of ITIL. The ITIL Service Quality Mode. The model of 4 dimensions. Now, after understanding both concepts, we shall see the difference between COBIT and ITIL. ITIL applies governance to provide value to all stakeholders, whereas COBIT attempts to govern all organizational processes. Similar aspects of the ITIL v3 service lifecycle are apparent when examining each framework. However, we must recognize that the expected outcomes are distinct. As stated previously, COBIT seeks end-to-end governance, while ITIL v4 seeks to create business value. They can, however, coexist. These frameworks may be combined by an organization to govern the environment. Users and stakeholders may be confused, so only highly mature organizations with mature processes, practices, should consider the possibility. Due to the fact that each framework has its own list of processes, albeit with significant overlap, an organization may use the best of breed to achieve the best results. COBIT is significantly more robust in areas such as supplier management, continuity, and security, among others. ITIL 4 and ITIL v3 are also superior in areas that ITIL 4 refers to as general management practices, such as strategy management, architecture management, service financial management, workforce and talent management, continual improvement, organizational change management, and relationship management. Both frameworks are robust in conventional control areas, change management, configuration management, and asset management. COBIT is more important in areas where ITIL 4 lacks control, whereas ITIL 4 is more robust in areas requiring collaboration with stakeholders, particularly the business. Neither ITIL 4 nor COBIT should be mandated for a specific organization. Instead, documented requirements with clearly defined objectives and outcomes should be mapped to the application framework. For all those interested in implementing ITSM, Information Technology Service Management, the most important question is which framework should be used. COBIT and ITIL are undeniably two of the best ITSM tools available. However, we can simply state that COBIT's coverage is broader than ITIL's. By definition, because COBIT is a framework for developing, monitoring, implementing, and improving information technology governance and management. COBIT stands for Control Objectives for Information and Related Technology, Information Systems Audit and Control Association. COBIT's primary objective is to provide a common language for executives to communicate rules, objectives, requirements, goals, and outcomes. ITIL, which stands for Information Technology Infrastructure Library, is a framework consisting of a collection of best practices, planning, and selection that focuses on enhancing IT services in accordance with business requirements. ITIL is also defined as a set of procedures for enhancing the IT service lifecycle. 2011 marks the release of the latest version of ITIL, which includes best practices for IT services. Scope. COBIT and ITIL almost cover the same area of work, and IT professionals have utilized them for years in ITSM. COBIT and ITIL can provide enterprises with governance and management guidance. However, it would not be incorrect to assert that COBIT's scope is much broader than that of an ITSM system. Approach. The COBIT approach to ITSM is a top-down approach that differentiates between the management and governance of IT services from a business perspective. COBIT more closely resembles the application of strategy to governance and management. It is only concerned with governance. ITIL's approach to ITSM is more likely a bottom-up approach from an IT business model perspective. ITIL focuses primarily on tactics, and ITSM focuses primarily on the management of IT services. Goals and objectives. The goals of COBIT is to manage the IT department for the company's benefit and steer it in the right direction. Align IT goals with business objectives. Bring IT benefits to the organization. Manage IT efficiency, risks, and resources. On the other hand, ITIL's goals is to ensure the organization's IT services are organized and running smoothly. Create possibilities for continuous operational excellence. Reduce the organization's IT expenses without sacrificing efficiency. Enhance decision-making within the organization. General problems. COBIT effectively addresses the general problems. For instance, if a system frequently fails audits, COBIT provides a set of benchmarks for audits that evaluate the IT system by using them frequently for internal audits and becoming partners for the external audit of IT systems. ITIL effectively addresses general issues. For instance, if IT teams are constantly overworked, ITIL provides service transition and operation for IT departments in detail according to various IT services, drastically reducing downtime costs. Core components. Control objectives, maturity models, management guidelines, process descriptions, and a framework are fundamental COBIT components. ITIL's fundamental elements include service strategy, service design, service transition, service operation, and continuous service improvement, also known as the 5 ITIL principles. Certification. The certification aids individuals as a knowledge base in service management and, ultimately, the organization in its management of IT services. The certification assists individuals in advancing their careers by enabling them to perform IT governance roles and, ultimately, by enhancing customer satisfaction within the organization. After having a clear idea on the differences, we shall answer the question: can COBIT and ITIL coexist? COBIT provides the what, whereas ITIL demonstrates the how. However, their most recent iterations continue to complement one another. Both concepts focus on how to convert stakeholder desires into value and are custom-made for the organization. This customization enables businesses to utilize the most advantageous parts when and how they need them. Let's look at some examples. ITIL 4 places a greater emphasis on governance than previous versions, devoting an entire SVS ring to it. This enables businesses to comprehend better how and where COBIT fits into their strategy. ITIL 4 also provides detailed guidance on how to implement several COBIT processes. Change management is one example. ITIL defines a structure and a process for executing this practice correctly. This structure can also help ITIL using organizations continue to derive real value from their IT capabilities while simultaneously avoiding risks. Overall, you can employ COBIT 2019 will create management objectives and governance directly based on the needs of stakeholders. ITIL 4 will guide these specific needs through its service value system, transforming inputs into valuable outputs for customers and the business. COBIT 2019 employs goal cascading, a visual waterfall that cascades from stakeholder need to enterprise goals to assist organizations in meeting their stakeholders' needs. This mechanism improves ITIL efficacy and supports service management by prioritizing ITSM improvement opportunities, identifying essential IT service management (ITSM) activities, justifying improvement proposals by tying them to specific organizational goals. So, let us now find out: where do ITIL and COBIT intersect? COBIT and ITIL share a nearly identical scope of application, making it difficult to choose between them. Furthermore, numerous processes correspond between the two platforms, such as the BAE-06 managing changes process in COBIT and the ITIL change management process. In addition, ITIL does not contain a specific risk management process, whereas COBIT includes the risk management process. Thus, it is evident that there is some overlap between these platforms, and you must keep in mind that if COBIT functions as an antibiotic, then ITIL will function as an antipyretic. Both of these concepts play a significant role in IT service management and have complementary but distinct objectives. Developers are continually attempting to enhance ITIL's approach to development. In simpler terms, we can say there is no alternative to ITIL, whereas there are multiple alternatives to COBIT. For example, COBIT is typically used for auditing functions in enterprise IT, whereas ITIL is utilized for process improvement. Therefore, as the IT management department of an enterprise, we recommend combining both of these platforms rather than selecting only one. Now, finally we shall see ITIL versus COBIT or ITIL and COBIT. Evidently, these two work closely together and generally have the same goal, making IT stable and efficient. However, this does not imply that this is the only way they look good. ITIL and COBIT function quite well independently. You may find it odd to employ a tactic, ITIL, without a strategy, COBIT. However, it should not be forgotten that ITIL also provides strategic fundamentals for IT services organizations, which are sufficient for the early stages. Moreover, based on the differences in their approaches, definitions, and, most importantly, objectives, COBIT appears to be more suited for large, IT-mature businesses. It requires a large number of IT processes and an extensive IT infrastructure to govern. While ITIL can be a good starting point for achieving such scope in general and a high level of IT maturity in particular, it is insufficient. If you're deciding between COBIT versus ITIL or ITIL and COBIT, the decision is straightforward. The first phase of your ITSM implementation project should likely involve ITIL. And once you have mastered its intricacies, you can begin to think more globally using COBIT. Now, let us conclude the session by knowing which ITSM framework is right for you. When comparing COBIT and ITIL, neither replaces the other. Numerous businesses use both. COBIT aligns IT goals with business objectives and ensures maximum value and minimum risk from IT resources. ITIL is used to design, develop, and improve an IT service that is efficient, effective, and supportive of business initiatives and needs. Therefore, should your company use both? That depends. ITIL and COBIT can be useful for very large or highly regulated organizations that require a strong focus on governance. This belt and braces approach to ITSM ensures that IT resources are allocated consistently and in accordance with the organization's objectives. However, the COBIT versus ITIL debate is clearer for the majority of organizations, particularly small and medium-sized businesses. ITIL 4 already emphasizes governance, therefore, COBIT is an unnecessary complication. COBIT is a framework utilized by large, established IT organizations. It requires a large number of IT processes and an extensive IT infrastructure to govern. ITIL, on the other hand, can be a good choice if you are just beginning to build an organization. Therefore, if you are undecided between COBIT versus ITIL or COBIT and ITIL, choose ITIL in the early stages of your ITSM implementation. However, after acquiring the necessary skills and experience, you can switch to the enhanced version of ITSM, namely COBIT. After reading this article, it is up to you to decide how to utilize these magnificent platforms, which contain all the pertinent information and key points regarding COBIT and ITIL. COBIT and ITIL are both accountable for ensuring that the company's IT resources enable and enhance all business operations. Both frameworks have a common objective and complement one another in helping organizations achieve this objective. To ensure that businesses implement all processes and strategies effectively, they must provide employees with extensive training in the frameworks and procedures. Implementation and integration are most likely to be successful when conducted by individuals with knowledge and expertise on the subject. These are some of the most popular ITSM and its certification courses available to professionals. ITIL 4 Foundation Certification Training. ITIL 4 Managing Professional Transition Certification Training. CIM Foundation Certification Training. COBIT 5 Foundation Certification Training. COBIT 5 Implementation Certification Training. COBIT 5 Assessor Certification Training. You also own certain advantages like interactive instructor-led ITIL 4 Foundation Certification Training. Highly qualified, certified, and accredited trainers. ITIL 4 Foundation course accredited by Axelos. Study guide created by subject matter experts. Interaction with co-participants from diverse backgrounds. 97% pass success rate. Case studies which are industry-driven. Mock tests provided. Participate in retrospective sessions. Additional ITIL 4 Foundation training session complimentary within next 2 months. Check out the description to know more about it. So, if you have any queries, do drop it in the comment section below. Happy learning! Thank you.